rookie's job. This story was inspired by the ScienceDaily article, Planetary Exploration may be about to get a major speed boost. A semi-autonomous exploration robot that moves from rock to rock and analyzes them without waiting for human instructions has been tested, raising mission speed to 3 times that of conventional approaches. The control room was quiet. The screen showed the Martian surface, reddish-brown rock and sand, a low hill, a thin sky, and in the middle of it, a small exploration robot moving by itself. Mia Garrett watched the screen. 24. Ground controller for Mars exploration. 3 months on the post. She still didn't know what her job actually was. Mia, coffee? The senior controller Walter called over. 40-something, 20 years on the job. Oh, yes, thanks. Slow day, huh? Yeah. The exploration robot, Gurecki, was semi-autonomous. Earlier, explorers had to wait for instructions from Earth before every step. The communication delay between Earth and Mars is 15 to 20 minutes one way, more than 30 for a round trip. Examining a single rock could take half a day. Gurecki was different. It carried an AI on board, made its own decisions about which rock to move to next. It photographed surfaces with its cameras, did spectral analysis on the chemistry, lingered on rocks it judged interesting, and skipped rocks it judged not interesting. The mission speed had tripled compared to the previous generation. The controller's work, in turn, had shrunk. Walter, what's our job exactly? Mia took the cup he handed her. He carried his own to the chair next to hers and sat down. Used to be, we directed every step. Rotate 30 degrees right. Advance 2 meters. Camera up. Begin analysis. All day we thought for the robot. And now? Now Gurecki thinks for itself. Us. We just watch. Just watch. Mostly. But there's one job that's still ours. What is it? When Gurecki says, I don't know, Mia stared at the screen. Gurecki was moving from rock to rock. Cameras turned. Spectral data flowed across the screen. Basalt, olivine, iron oxide, all known minerals. Gurecki processed them quietly and headed for the next rock. Walter, does Gurecki ever actually say it doesn't know? It does. Rarely. Rarely. Gurecki's database has every known Martian mineral in it. Most rocks it can classify automatically. But once in a while, there's a rock that isn't in the database. A rock that isn't in the database. Right. When that happens, Gurecki can't make the call. Screen flips up. Unable to classify. Controller decision requested. That's where we come in. Mia sat up a little straighter. But I can't classify Martian rocks yet. You'll learn. 3 months you've watched Gurecki classify them. That's the learning. By just watching. Watching is the learning. Which rocks Gurecki finds interesting, which it skips. Once that pattern is in your head, you start seeing Mars through Gurecki's eyes. For a week after that, Mia watched Gurecki every day. Rocks Gurecki stopped at. Rocks it passed by. Rocks it lingered on. Rocks it left quickly. The pattern that had looked random at first slowly started to surface. Rocks with shiny surfaces, Gurecki lingered. Rocks with coarse grains, short analysis, then on. Rocks whose color clearly differed from their surroundings, always approached. There was a logic to Gurecki's interesting. The bigger the difference from the database, the longer Gurecki stayed. The smaller the difference, the faster it moved on, and, when the difference was too big to classify, Gurecki stopped. Day 11. Morning. An alert came up on the screen. Unable to classify. Controller decision requested. Mia's heart jumped. She looked at Walter. He was drinking his coffee. He nodded. There it is. You're up. Mia turned back to the screen. Gurecki had stopped in front of a rock. The camera sent a magnified image across the rock surface. Thin streaks ran, white and greenish-gray in stripes. The spectral data was on the screen. Iron, magnesium, silica. That was normal. But mixed into the signal, a hydrated mineral. Hydrated mineral. trace of water. Walter said it from the side. We know there used to be water on Mars, but hydrated minerals haven't been found in this region before. Gariki's database doesn't have this region's hydrated mineral patterns, so it couldn't classify. Then, you decide. Detailed analysis on this rock, or skip it. Mia looked at the spectral data. 3 months watching Gariki's calls. What would Gariki do? Big difference. Composition not seen in surrounding rocks, not in the database. If Gariki would stop, investigate, I'll order Gariki to run detailed analysis. Reason: the spectrum shows a hydrated mineral signal, unreported in this region, worth a detailed analysis. Walter drained his coffee. All right, send it. Mia transmitted the order. Time delay to Mars, 17 minutes. 17 for the order to reach Gariki. 17 more for the response. 34 minutes later, the detailed analysis came back. The hydrated mineral was a clay mineral, forms in environments where water was present for a long time. First find of its kind in this region. Mia. Good call. Walter said it. Mia let out a breath. I just stopped because Gariki stopped. No. Gariki stopped saying, I don't know. You decided we should look, and pushed the mission forward. Stopping and pushing forward are two different jobs. That night, Mia stayed in the control room watching Gariki's screen. Gariki was moving slowly toward the next rock. Autonomously. Gariki, the channel wasn't open, but Mia said it quietly. Say I don't know, again. When you do, I'll have your answer. On the screen, Gariki stopped in front of the next rock, began spectral analysis. A few seconds later, as if nothing had happened, it moved to the rock after that. Known mineral, classification complete, no controller needed. That's fine. Most of the time, just watching is enough. But when Gariki says I don't know, that one moment is the rookie's job. Mia poured another cup of coffee and sat back down in front of the screen, waiting for the next I don't know.